Welcome back to the S3 YouTube channel. We're back here at USR today with Jason Owens and Chinchi in the other room. The plan of attack is to do the Mishimoto secondary radiator. When we were at Michigan last month, it started to overheat a little bit. And it wasn't critical by any means, but it was getting a little bit warm. So hopefully that'll help.
Mishimoto has come out with a secondary radiator after talking to them a few times about the idea of adding another radiator and where we could fit it. They worked on it, came up with a radiator that's kind of a smaller rectangular shape, similar to an oil cooler. They place it on the back side of the motor just under the intake manifold, and then the placement is good for feeding right to the factory heater hoses.
So as you guys can see probably already, this is not something you want to do in your driveway on jack stands. But as Jason just said, there's probably not much with the Type-R that you want to do in your driveway on jack stands.
So I've removed some of the bracketry out of the way so we can get some of these hoses out of the way so you can get your hand down in there. We've removed the upper hose from the heater core, and now I'm installing this little L bracket onto some factory studs on the firewall that'll secure it with 2 10mm nuts. But one key note is that those two studs, the upper stud has a 10mm nut on there already. When I first did the original prototype, I didn't notice the nut, didn't remove it. Then I got the bracket on there, it sat all cattywampus, and had to go back and remove everything. It's kind of tough to get in there to start the nut. So in the directions, I don't really mention that nut. So if you're installing this, make sure you remove that factory nut.
Watch one of our episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not so bad, man. They're not bad. Y'all ought to check those things out.
How many episodes have you watched, Will?
I watched the first couple. I did. And then I found out, I was just telling them, which is why he's filming me. I end up watching myself and critiquing / cringing at myself more than I watched the video. So it was becoming a thing I was watching like this, man. Like I was uncomfortable watching them. So I just kind of wasn't. And then I picked up with this one. What episode is this? Whatever, it's the one where we go to Lane Motor Museum, and it's pretty good.
We're just prepping the radiator with the hoses before we get it in there. That way you're not in there trying to get the stuff that you could easily get to with the car, with the radiator out.
When you say in there, what do you mean?
In the engine bay.
Okay, and
like
what's
placed behind the engine.
What's an engine?
Oh, what are you not?
I'm saying the Slingshot is a cool experience to drive. Not saying I want to be in one. I'm just saying when you drive them, they're awesome. They're a lot of fun.
Just so y'all know, he's going back now because I gave him a hard time. He really wants a Slingshot.
No, I said Slingshots are cool, and you said no, they're not. I said, let me explain.
Willie wants to buy a Slingshot.
I had a Slingshot for like 3 months as like a press car. They brought it to me in December in Georgia because basically, huh?
Not in my car.
Well, and that's the thing, they were located up north, and so the press fleet up north had it, and then they brought it down south for the winter time, but nobody else wanted it. So I ended up with a Slingshot for like 3 months. They were like, you can hang on to it, man, if you're enjoying it. And I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. The first 80 miles I drove the Slingshot, I didn't like it because I didn't get it. And I was trying to compare it to other cars that you could buy for the price. And then it hit me, stop trying to compare it to a damn car. It's not a car, it's different. It's not a track car. So don't try and think it is. It's not a Miata. It's not an S2000. And there's a lot of ways to spend 20 to 30 grand. But what it is a wave runner on the street.
I think they're stupid and dangerous.
But see, with that
The
third...
back end just breaks off because everything's made of plastic.
What I'm saying is with the one rear wheel, it just does burnouts everywhere.
Well,
and it's hilarious.
here's
It
the
does
thing.
burnouts off of every stop sign in the country. It does burnouts when you're like not even the first car at the traffic light. You can be like the fifth and you're still doing burnouts, just going like following the camera ahead of you.
Get a T-Rex,
Yeah, but that's vastly more expensive, right?
but way better. It actually is a decent vehicle.
If you truly don't give a shit what people think and you just want a fun vehicle, didn't say car, also didn't say motorcycle, a fun vehicle that you're not going to track, that you just want to go have a good time with and smile every time you drive it, like Slingshot will do that. Hate if you want to hate.
Like Tom Cruise, I do all my own stunts in the shop. What you couldn't see me doing was wedging my hands down in this tiny area behind the engine in between the firewall and the intake manifold. Basically, once you get the radiator mounted on the brackets loosely, you have to route the hoses, work them in there, get a wrench on the clamps to tighten them down, which is, you know, seems like it should be easy, which the one at the engine's not too bad, but tightening the hose down at the heater core connection is not very easy. So we use a worm clamp. Luckily I have this little tool here that's got a little flexible section so you can kind of work it in there if you don't have something like this. Have fun.
Did he say that drilling these things is a pain in the ass? Because they use basically what? A little steel rod, rivet, whatever you call it, with like a aluminum surround, so it just slips off. Which way did you squeeze? Oh, I see.
Help pick it from the top.
We're doing this because basically you want to take that thing off and reroute the air from this little scoop down to where the secondary radiator is. It's all about teeny tiny little gains to make a bigger overall improvement. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Appreciate you. We got the secondary radiator from Mishimoto on. Please like, subscribe, do all that stuff. And don't forget, like, if you're liking this, you can subscribe to the print magazine. That's what we've been doing for like 14 years now. You can subscribe at s3mag.com. It's $20 for like 2+ years. So it's a good deal. All right, thank you.